great for someone in your situation. How do you feel?
Okay. I was hoping to feel better by now. This morning I had a fever still. It was about 100.2 or something. So still fever, body aches, still kind of short of breath. If I breathe really deep, I still cough. So this is day 9 and still not feeling much better.
Wow. Fever for almost 9 straight days then. That has got to be horrible.
It's been horrible. It was over 101 for about 4 straight days, and just terrible body aches, like the worst imaginable. I sometimes just sat in the tub and cried because there was just no relief. So still having some of those, but they're a little better since the fever's a little lower, but still uncomfortable. Wakes you up all night long, just can't get comfortable, can't sleep well.
So just kind of tell me what happened. I mean, this all started with a wonderful trip to New York City, it sounds like.
Yes, I took a quick trip to visit a friend in New York. Unfortunately, I was already in New York when the news started really breaking about how widespread all of this was getting. So we just took every precaution we could. We kind of avoided the touristy areas, washed our hands, used hand sanitizer, all those things. I don't think it was widely known that it was airborne yet at that point. People thought it was hygiene. But I guess I still got it. I didn't know until I was back in Fort Worth for 2 days. I started just getting like a dry, itchy cough, and then a low fever, and then the higher fever, the body aches, the shortness of breath. It just kind of progressed from there.
And you were at a point where you thought, okay, I need to get this checked out. So what happened?
I woke up one morning with over a 101 fever. The body aches were just excruciating. I was short of breath, and so I thought I need to go to the doctor. I thought maybe it could be the flu initially. So I decided to go into the walk-in clinic just at my primary care, and they tested me for flu, and it was negative. And they said I did have all of the symptoms of this virus, but at the time, and still, as far as I understand, there's just such a shortage of tests that they weren't allowed to test me. They called in to try to get permission, but I just wasn't critical enough, just my age and everything. So they said, you could have it, we think you have it, but you just kind of have to go home and self-quarantine at that point.
And so you did, right? You followed their orders.
Right. I went home and quarantined, but I just kept getting worse. My breathing was getting worse. The fever, like I said, was over 101 for at least 4 days. So at that point, I was kind of thinking, okay, if I do have this, I still feel like I need help breathing. If I don't have the virus, I'd like to know what I do have so that I could figure out how to treat it. So at that point, Sunday night, I actually had to end up going to the ER because my breathing was just so concerning. And they took me in. They did a chest X-ray and found that I was developing pneumonia. And so I'm glad I went in. There was a lot of different information going around, like don't go to the ER, do go to the ER, and so I wasn't sure if I should go or not, but I'm glad I did because they caught the pneumonia at least.
And you told me that before you did that, I mean, you and your husband talked about it, right? Like, okay, and you tried, you called other things. You were doing your best to stay out of the ER, right?
Right. As miserable as I was feeling, the last thing I wanted to do was infect anyone else. And so I was trying to take seriously, the warnings to not go to the ER. We had called 211 coronavirus hotline, the health department, the doctor, but it was a Sunday. And so we were just getting voicemails and dead ends. But finally, it was just concerning enough, just feeling like I couldn't breathe, that we decided to just go. Yeah.
When you say couldn't breathe, and I know this probably sounds silly, but can you describe what that feeling is? Oh, sorry. There you go.
Sorry.
Can you describe what that feeling is like when you say you can't breathe?
I just felt like short of breath, like I still haven't been able to get a deep breath in about 9 days. If I do breathe really deep, like a good breath, I start coughing kind of uncontrollably. So I try to just take little breaths to kind of keep the coughing under control. Also just kind of felt like something was sitting on my chest, just pressure, constant pressure on my chest, and just shallow breathing.
And how old are you, Sara?
33.
How would you describe your battle, and how worried are you that someone with a compromised immune system, or someone who's in their 70s or 80s, how worried are you that they couldn't battle like you?
That's honestly my biggest concern. That's why I'm taking my quarantine so seriously, because I think, I'm young and healthy. I have no underlying issues. I don't have asthma. I mean, nothing. I'm lucky. And this has been, I feel like my body's been through a battle. Like someone has just beat me up. And as hard as it's been for me, I can't imagine someone who is elderly or has asthma or any sort of underlying issue, because it's been really hard. It's been a really long 9 days. There's been times where I've asked people, I'm going to be okay, right? Because it's, I felt so sick that it was scary. So I do really worry about those higher risk people that they keep talking about. And that's why I hope everyone is taking this as serious as they can, because it's rough.
What do you say to people who may have a false sense of, meh, it's just a flu, it's just a cold? What do you think about that?
It's not. I've had the flu several times, and this is nothing like the flu to me. It's so much worse. It's the body aches are excruciating. It's very serious. I've never felt so ill or in so much pain from sickness in my life. And so I hope that people realize it's not just your common flu. I know some people don't get all of the symptoms. Some people do have a little bit easier time, but if you do get all of the symptoms like I do, it's really painful and it's really hard.
Let's talk a little bit about that test. You wanted the test, you were hoping, but clearly you knew you didn't fit into that category, because, as you said, they're being very careful with who they give the test to. So when you got to the ER, how did that whole thing go down? And walk me through. I think you had said y'all took some precautions about your husband going in first, right?
Yes, I actually couldn't get the test in Tarrant County. Um, we had to call the Blue Cross, my insurance provider, and they found a doctor in Dallas. So we had to drive an hour away, because even the hospital wasn't allowed to test people unless they were in those high risk, ages and different things. So we actually had to end up driving to a doctor in Dallas that was doing drive-through testing for people like me who were quarantined. He would come out to your car, and if you had the high fever and the symptoms, he would test you. So we actually had to go all the way to Dallas to get tested. And my reason for wanting to do that, one, like I mentioned, was I just wanted to know what I had and how to treat it because I was so miserable. But also, I kept seeing so many people saying, there's only, 3 cases, I think, at the time in Tarrant County, or there's only 1 case in Fort Worth. And I thought, that's just not true. Like, I think people need to be tested so it'll be reported so that people will take it seriously. So I'm glad I was able to get tested, just so that people do know that it's here, and it's probably more widespread than we think even still.
And how did you get those results? What happened? How did they contact you, or what happened?
They do the test on site, and then right now it's about 72 hours. They send them off to the CDC and the labs, and so then they call you back after they get the lab results back. And so mine took almost 3 full days to get back. So I got a call from that doctor's office, and then they shared those results with the Tarrant County Health and the hospital that I'd been to. And so I got calls from all those people eventually. Yeah.
Was it almost a relief, or was it weird? What did it feel like to hear you tested positive for the coronavirus?
Sorry, I gotta get a drink. It was kind of weird. Like I really felt like I did have it all along. I never really thought that I didn't, just because I've had the flu before. Like I said, I tested negative for that. I just didn't know what else it could be, and as sick as I was feeling, I thought it's just got to be that. So once I got it, I felt I don't know. I was glad, like I said, that I was tested and it would be reported. I think I felt um, more relieved that other people would know that there's more cases, because just the underreporting is scary, and the lack of testing is scary to me, that people aren't taking it serious still. So I think I was just glad that um, that there would be another case, and that maybe more people would go forward and try to get tested, and the reporting would be more accurate.
Do you I think you told me on the phone you know you're are you like a certain number in Tarrant County or something?
They said I was number 7, so I guess I'm, yeah, lucky number 7.
Just two more questions. One, the quarantine, the things you're doing. What is life like? I mean, clearly you feel like hell, but what is life like to know you've got to be just so careful about anything you do and what your husband touches? And I mean, you must just feel isolated in a way.
Yeah, very isolated. Almost just feels a little down sometimes, like it's just kind of um, not being able to even feel good enough to just enjoy the time at home. I know a lot of people are, quarantined at home with their family or friends, but when you're actually sick with it, it's pretty just, yeah, I guess isolated, and like we can't even go out and pick up food or go get the things we need at the grocery store. We have to ask someone to get those for us and to leave them at the door. So it feels a little helpless, I guess, that we can't just go get what we need, or can't see anybody. Um, but I understand that that's important. So I mean, we're definitely staying away from people, and I definitely don't want to infect anyone. That's my top priority right now.
Um, I guess the last thing, mentally, I mean, physical is one thing, but mental and emotional, to know that to know what you're going through, to know that you're a part of this pandemic. Are you doing okay?
Um, I'm definitely ready for this to be over. I, yeah, I guess I do feel just a little bit like down about it. Just, I'm ready to feel some relief, like physically for myself. It's been a long 9 days. Every day I wake up thinking, I hope today's the day that, I have no fever, or that my body aches are gone. But so far that hasn't been the case. So I'm just, and I also just, my heart hurts for all of my friends that have small businesses, and just the effect on just my friends that work in different industries that can't work right now and aren't getting paid. It's overwhelming for so many people, weddings canceled, just all of it. It's really sad. And I hope that we get it under control, and that people take it seriously, so that it can end as soon as possible.
And I lied. I just have one final thing, one final thought I want you to share. Talk to me directly about just how serious this is, that this is not something that the media has made up, that this is not something, that it's no big deal. Oh, it's only going to be old people who are seriously affected. What do you want to say about that?
That's why I kind of shared my story initially, is people kept saying, oh, this is an old person's disease, or this only affects older people. But here I am, 30 some odd year old, and it's been awful. I mean, it's very serious. It's not something that's made up. I've experienced great pain, all of the symptoms. It's been scary. I mean, there's been times where I thought, am I going to get better from this? So I hope that people take it serious, because it is very serious, and I hope that they stay home, even if they're not sick, because they could be carriers, they could be spreading it. Um, so yeah, it's a big deal, and I honestly wouldn't wish this on anyone. In one way, I'm glad that it's me, a younger, healthier person, and not someone that's older or higher risk, because I can fight it off, but I'm worried about the people that can't, definitely. We, like I said, we avoided the touristy areas. We weren't touching a lot. I was using hand sanitizer and washing my hands constantly. I was really like taking every precaution. So I was shocked when I got it, thinking, but I had done all of these things to protect myself. And so the only thing I can think of is that I was around someone who was, infected and they were breathing or coughing, and that has to be how I picked it up, either in New York or at the airport. Yeah. Yeah, that's my hope too, is just that, even if just a few people see it and take it serious and protect themselves, then it was worth sharing. So,
Be well, rest up, drink that orange juice, and eat that chicken
Oh,
soup.
is there anything that you've been able to take that alleviates some of the pain or symptoms? Is it just it's just nothing?
nothing. I've kind of tried everything from the liquid IV drinks to, you know, Dayquil, NyQuil, Tylenol. Tylenol helps slightly with the body aches, but they still push through. I mean, they're way worse than flu aches. Um, and just no appetite, like stomach hurts kind of all the time, and just not a lot of relief yet. So,
I hope and pray that comes soon.
thank you.
All right, take care of yourself. I really appreciate it again, and we're expecting to share this probably around on our 5 p.m. newscast in case you want to let folks know or something. So, but thank you, Sarah, and I'll be in touch with you. Feel better.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, bye.